Voyage of the Damned is an episode of the British science fiction television programme Doctor Who. First broadcast on December 25, 2007, it is 72 minutes long and the third Christmas special since the show's revival in 2005. The narrative continues from the final scenes of both Last of the Time Lords, and the mini-episode Time Crash, when a luxury space liner called the Titanic, a pastiche of the historical ocean liner, breached the walls of the TARDIS. The ship's captain, Hardaker, sabotages the ship shortly after the Titanic's collision with the TARDIS. The Doctor works with a waitress named Astrid Peth to prevent an imminent collision with Earth. The episode features the only performance in Doctor Who by the Australian singer and actress Kylie Minogue. Executive producer and writer Russell T Davies described her casting as a very exceptional case, having written the part of Astrid specifically for Minogue. On its original air date, Voyage of the Damned was watched by 13.31 million viewers, the highest viewing figure for Doctor Who since the 1979 serial City of Death, and as of October 2015 it still has the highest viewership of any episode since the show's revival. It was the second most watched programme of 2007, beaten only by the episode of EastEnders which aired immediately after it. Critical opinion about the episode was divided. The writing and Minogue's performance were both praised and criticised. Synopsis: the episode opens immediately following the events of Time Crash, with the bow of the Titanic crashing into the TARDIS. The Doctor repairs the damage before landing the TARDIS on the ship. He discovers it's not the famed RMS Titanic, but instead is a starliner hailing from the planet Sto. The Titanic is orbiting present-day Earth to observe the traditions of primitive cultures, specifically Christmas. The Doctor dons a tuxedo and joins the reception on board, meeting waitress Astrid Peth. The Doctor convinces Astrid to join him on a brief excursion to the surface of Earth. They are accompanied by married couple Morven and Foon van Hoff, a Zotchi named Banner Cafelata, and historian and guide Mr. Cooper. While on Earth, specifically a commercial district of London, the Doctor notes that London seems abandoned, and questions a man in a newspaper stand about it. The man, Wilfred Mott, tells the Doctor that most people have left London because of the previous 2 years of alien activity in London on Christmas. Back on the Titanic, Captain Hardaker dismisses the ship's officers from the bridge. Citing regulations, Midshipman Alonzo Frame remains on the bridge. After the group returns from their excursion, Hardaker drops the vessel's protective shielding and magnetizes the hull. This causes nearby meteors to be pulled toward the ship on a collision course. Midshipman Frame attempts to reactivate the shields but is shot by Hardaker as the meteors collide with the ship. The collision kills most of the 2,000 passengers and staff on board and causes the vessel to begin plunging toward the Earth. The Doctor makes contact with the wounded Midshipman Frame, who stabilizes and maintains the power from the damaged engines. The Doctor and the rest of the excursion party attempt to reach the bridge but are repeatedly attacked by the ship's angel hosts, androids resembling angels who were programmed to supply information. Morven falls off of a ledge into the ship's engine, and the rest of the group are surrounded by angel hosts. Banner Cafelata reveals that he is a cyborg, and uses his internal EMP device to disable the hosts. The EMP burst drains the Zotchi's power cells and he dies. Mr. Cooper takes the EMP device in the hopes that it can be recharged and used again. A lone angel host attacks them again, and Foon ties herself to it and throws them both into the ship's engine. The Doctor separates from the rest and attempts to reach Deck 31, where he hopes to find the controls for the heavenly hosts. He convinces the hosts that he is a stowaway and the confused androids take him to see their operator, Max Capricorn. Max explains that he planned the Titanic's inevitable collision with Earth to bankrupt the company that voted him out. To save the Doctor, Astrid uses a forklift to ram Max Capricorn and push him into the ship's engine. The forklift falls on top of him, seemingly killing Astrid as well. With Max Capricorn dead, the heavenly hosts divert to the next highest authority, the Doctor, and aid him in quickly reaching the bridge. Together with Midshipman Frame, he uses the heat from the entry into the Earth's atmosphere to restart the ship's auxiliary engines. The ship stabilizes and narrowly avoids a collision with Buckingham Palace. The Doctor then realizes that Astrid was wearing a teleport bracelet when she fell into the engine. In an emergency, the teleport bracelets were programmed to hold a person's molecular pattern in stasis until it can be recovered. The Doctor frantically attempts to retrieve Astrid's pattern, but the machine is too badly damaged. The Doctor reluctantly allows the ghostly remains of Astrid's atoms to dissipate into space. As the surviving passengers wait for rescue, the Doctor, and Mr. Copper, who would otherwise be sent to prison for committing fraud in order to get a job with the company, teleport to Earth and find that the TARDIS landed unharmed, thrown from the ship after the collision. An ecstatic Mr. Copper is left to live on Earth with a credit card he preloaded with £1 million, unaware of the conversion between pound sterling and Stowe credits. Production =casting =. During the third series press launch in March 2007, the production team was approached by Will Baker, Kylie Minogue's creative director, about her appearing in the show. Executive producer Julie Gardner replied that Minogue could guest star if her schedule was free. Minogue officially registered her interest on March 26, 2007 and was subsequently given a one-off role as the Doctor's companion. Minogue's appearance would allow the show to easily transfer the lead companion role from Martha Jones to Penny the intended companion for the fourth series, eventually replaced by Catherine Tate's Donna Noble and provide a big-name star to appear in the Christmas special. Her casting was first reported in the News of the World in April 2007. Davies initially dismissed the story, but Baker and Minogue contemporaneously confirmed she would star in the show. Her role was officially confirmed on July 3, 2007. Both Minogue and Doctor Who had acknowledged each other before. The Idiot's Lantern mentions Minogue as a real person. And Baker, a fan of Doctor Who, included aspects of the classic series in Minogue's tours, the Raston Warriors in the Fever Tour, and the Cybermen in the Showgirl Tour. Clive Swift and Geoffrey Palmer have had previous roles in Doctor Who. Swift portrayed Joe Bell in Revelation of the Daleks, while Palmer played Under-Secretary Masters in Doctor Who and the Silurians, and the Administrator and the Mutants. Jessica Martin had played Mags in The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. In addition, Bernard Cribbins played Tom Campbell in Daleks Invasion Earth, 2150 AD, the second Doctor Who feature film adaptation starring Peter Cushing as well as Arnold Corns in the audio play Horror of Glam Rock. Colin McFarlane, who provided the voices of the Heavenly Host for the episode, went on to play General Pierce in Torchwood, Children of Earth, before later reappearing in Doctor Who as Moran in Under the Lake. Minogue's costume Minogue met designer Louise Page 4 times during pre-production to discuss her costume. Page rejected a long dress because it was atypical to Minogue. She instead elected for a cigarette girl image, similar to a 1950s cinema usherette. 5 costumes were made for different scenes and Minogue's stunt doubles, and each part of each costume was made separately to keep Minogue's role secret. After filming, Minogue told Page that the costume was the most comfortable she had worn in years. Writing The episode was primarily written by Russell T Davies after Minogue was cast. Davies described his pitch to Minogue as busking. The character of Astrid Peth was written for Minogue. Davies later stated that Minogue was a very exceptional case. He considered writing a role specifically for one actor dangerous territory, because the desired actor may be unavailable or decline the part. In early drafts of the episode, Astrid did not die. Davies decided Astrid's death was necessary to allow Minogue focus on her musical career. Davies described the original nature of her death falling over a precipice during a fight with Capricorn as fleeting. He intensified the scene by changing Max from mobile to cybernetic and Astrid's attack from an altercation to a forklift truck. Davies felt the revised scene was such a beautiful image, and romanticized Astrid's ultimate sacrifice. Davies based the episode on the traditional disaster film format. He was highly influenced by the 1972 film The Poseidon Adventure. He considered turning the spaceship upside down before cutting the concept for monetary constraints. And the character of Foon van Hoff was heavily based on Belle Rosen. he diverged from the trope in its climax. The format of Doctor Who dictated the requirement of an antagonist, Max Capricorn, whose plan was to sabotage the ship as part of an insurance scam. Davies based the portrayal of Kansas in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz as an analogue for Stowe. The episode includes several references to outside the show's fictional universe. The episode is dedicated to Verity Lambert, Dr. Wo's founding producer, who died on November 22, 2007, a day before the show's 44th anniversary. And the malfunctioning host stuttering over the name Max is a reference to 1980s virtual presenter Max Headroom. Davies inserted references to other Doctor Who episodes in the script. He emphasized society's increasing awareness of aliens and the tradition of London's consecutive Christmas attacks in the script, describing the latter as becoming a bit of an in-joke. The Doctor's use of the catchphrase Alan's Y Alonzo in the episode when he helps Frame stabilize the ship continues a running gag originating in Army of Ghosts. And the host continue the thematic motif of angels. Angels previously appeared in Blink, where the antagonists of the episode were weeping angels, and in The Sound of Drums, and Last of the Time Lords, where the Master's communication network was called the Archangel Network. Despite angels being the antagonist in two episodes that aired close to each other, which dismayed writer and executive producer Russell T Davies when he read Stephen Moffat's script for Blink, the hosts are functionally different as subordinate robot butlers. Filming primarily took place between July 9 and August 11, 2007. The first scene filmed depicted the group being accosted by the host while crossing over the engines. On July 12, Tennant's mother, Helen MacDonald, began to succumb to her cancer. Filming was rescheduled to allow Tennant to be present when she died and was buried. She died on July 15 and was buried on July 21. During Tennant's absence, scenes in the Titanic's reception area were filmed at the Exchange in Swansea and the Coal Exchange in Cardiff Bay. Tennant filmed his scenes in the area on 16 and 17 July. The last use of the Coal Exchange was on the 18th. Scenes depicting the ship's collision with meteors were filmed on that day. 1 week of filming was conducted primarily at the old DuPont site in Pontypool, which provided the sets for Deck 31, a Capricorn's refuge and command center, much of the old extrusion machinery still in situ and their corresponding control Thorn drive panels, and the various stairwells and corridors of the ship. Scenes on Deck 31 were filmed on 19 and 20 July. A double, Danielle da Costa, operated the forklift truck because Minogue didn't have the required license. Shooting was staggered as a result of Tennant's departure. July 21 focused on the supporting characters, and July 23 focused on Tennant. The aftermath of the meteor strike was filmed between July 25 and July 27. Filming returned to the Exchange in Swansea to film 2 more scenes. The Danow copyright of the episode was filmed on July 28, and the pre-credits sequence on July 30. The most important day of filming was on July 31, 2007, an evening location shoot of the party's arrival in London. Before filming commenced, Minogue covered her death scene above a chroma key mattress. The scene in London commenced filming at sunset in Cardiff city centre. For security concerns specifically, protecting Minogue the street was sealed off for the first time since the show's revival in 2005. Filming finished in the first 2 weeks of August 2007, the closing scene was filmed in Cardiff Docks on August 1. Hardaker's death was filmed at Upper Boat on August 2. Scenes in the ship's kitchen was filmed on August 3. And scenes on the bridge were filmed on August 8. The last day of filming was on August 21, 2007. Cameo scenes by BBC reporters Jason Mohammed and Nicholas Witchell were filmed at BBC's broadcasting houses in Llandough, London. Music composer Murray Gold, arranger Ben Foster, and singer Yamit Marmo make cameo appearances as part of the ship's band. Marmo, primarily a soul singer, was approached by Gold after his friends saw her performing, and she unconditionally accepted his offer. She performed the songs My Angel Put the Devil in Me, and The Stowaway on the third series soundtrack. The latter was specifically composed for this episode and was recorded in September 2007 at AIR Studios in London. The song features everyone who was present in the studios during recording as backing vocals. The Stowaway continues the tradition of a Christmas song from The Christmas Invasion, and The Runaway Bride. The song was influenced by Irish folk music, and contrasts the upbeat under-deck feeling with melancholy lyrics about unrequited love. The episode features a new version of the theme tune during its credits, comparable to Peter Howell's version from the 1980s, which contains a new bass line, drums, and piano. Broadcast and reception. Broadcast equals, overnight figures estimated that the episode's Christmas Day broadcast was watched by 12.2 million viewers. The final viewing figures were 13.31 million viewers with a peak of 13.8 million, the second highest audience for any program during 2007. The episode of BBC soap EastEnders which aired after Voyage of the Damned was watched by 13.9 million viewers. The viewing figure is the highest for the new series, exceeding the previous record set by Rose. The figure is also the highest for Doctor Who overall since 1979, specifically, the final episode of City of Death. The episode's appreciation index rating was 86, above the average score of 77 for drama programs, and was the highest index rating for any program shown on terrestrial television on Christmas Day. Although not filmed in HD, the BBC aired it on BBC One HD, Wednesday 29 December 2010, having upscaled the program to HD and also including Dolby Surround sound. This is the first Doctor Who episode, filmed in SD, to have been upscaled to HD for broadcast on television, and the second episode, overall, to be upscaled from SD to HD, the first being the 2008 Christmas special, The Next Doctor, for the Blu-ray release of the complete specials box set. This special first aired in Canada on Space in April 2010. Criticism and review. The episode was criticized by Milvina Dean, the last survivor of the 1912 Titanic's sinking, who stated that it was disrespectful to make entertainment of such a tragedy. The organization Christian Voice expressed offense at the religious imagery of a scene in which the Doctor is lifted through the ship by robot angels, believing the messianic portrayal of the Doctor as inappropriate. However, in April 2008, vicars were encouraged to use the same scene to illustrate themes of resurrection, redemption and evil to young people. Gareth McLean, who reviewed a previous screening for the Guardiana Euroshow Euros TV and radio weblog, appreciated the episode's use of the disaster movie template, and came to a favorable overall conclusion. For the most part, The Voyage of the Damned is absolutely smashing. Its main flaw, in his view, was the blank and insipid acting of Kylie Minogue. James Walton of the Daily Telegraph gave the episode a positive review, summarizing it as a winning mixture of wild imagination and careful writerly calculation. Alex Clark of The Observer commented that the death toll was rather high, but he still thought the episode was an oasis of cheeky nonsense and careless invention. Harry Venning of The Stage concluded his positive review of the episode by stating it was well up to Doctor Who Euroshow Euros' impeccably high standards. Doctor Who magazine placed 2 of the deaths in the episode in its list of the top 100 deaths in the history of the show. Banner Cathalatta's death, a self-sacrifice to save the Doctor's party, was placed in the top 20 tear-jerkers category. Astrid's death was given the title of Doctor Who Euroshow Euros' all-time greatest death scene, commenting it ticks boxes in all of our main categories: gruesome, scary, self-sacrifice, tear-jerking, surprising, and her death would truly make a glass eye cry. Tim Turman of The Times gave the episode a negative review, stating that it was boring, despite the endless dashing about and CGI flimflam. The Daily Mirror commented the episode had some brilliant psychedelic Pink Floyd-esque imagery, great baddies, and neat jokes, but lamented that the plot was a mess, consisting mostly of one high-tech chase scene after another, and it descended into noise and bluster. DVD release. The 10 Christmas specials between the Christmas Invasion and Last Christmas inclusive were released in a box set titled Doctor Who Euro The 10 Christmas Specials on October 19, 2015. References. External links. Voyage of the Damned on TARDIS Data Core, an external wiki, Voyage of the Damned at the BBC Doctor Who homepage, Voyage of the Damned at Doctor Who, A Brief History of Time, Voyage of the Damned at the Doctor Who Reference Guide, Voyage of the Damned at the Internet Movie Database, Shooting Script for Voyage of the Damned. Reviews Voyage of the Damned Reviews at the Doctor Who Ratings Guide, Fan Reviews. BBC Trailers BBC Christmas 2007 Publicity Trailer, First Teaser Trailer, Cinematic Trailer, Trailer A, Trailer B, 20-second Trailer,